Welcome back to my channel. So I have two altcoins on the list today that I think you need to know about because you're probably going to want to add them to your portfolio. We're not going to take any more time away from you. I know you're busy. I'm busy as well. So let's get right into it. The first token on the list today being Drift Protocol. And mind you, we're going to go through entire analysis on Drift Protocol and the second altcoin that I'm going to be talking about a little bit later in this video. For those of you who don't know, Drift Protocol is similar to GMX and Apex Pro. It is another decentralized trading exchange. Now, the reason why this one is different from GMX and Apex Pro is because this one is specifically made for Solana. And I know a lot of you probably love Solana for its meme coins and things like that, but this is something that actually has utility on the Solana network where you can actually go and trade a lot of these meme coins and a lot of these bigger tokens that we see on other chains that we want to trade but don't really have a good option when it comes to having these tokens decentralized. There's a lot of centralized chains where you can trade these meme coins, but like I said, like for me, I like to give you decentralized options so you can keep custody of your tokens. Now, taking a quick look at the price of Drift, Drift is currently sitting at 58 cents. It had all-time highs of around $450 million. I believe this was in December of 2024. Yes, December there. This is on the max chart as well, so I want to give you some perspective about where we're at. The chart actually looks pretty clean. If we were to draw a nice trend line, it'd more than likely be bouncing off this trend line or somewhere around. So decent price drop and decent discount if you're looking to buy something like Drift now. Sitting at a $166 million market cap. The one thing I did notice is that a lot of supplies left to come out. So we're actually going to check out Drift on CryptoRank just to see what the vesting schedule looks like and see what you'll be getting into. One thing I do like is that arbitrage on the total value locked. Like I always tell you, I like to see one for one when it comes to total value locked and market cap, so the market hasn't caught up to the amount of value that Drift is providing. 28 million in volume is actually really good as well. And when we come down to see a few of the markets we can pick it up on, these are a lot of these centralized exchanges here on the left-hand side. So HTX, BitGet, Bybit, Gate.io, so on and so forth. But you can also go on Radium and Jupiter to pick up Drift as well. Okay, so we're over at the Drift site at the moment, and for some reason I can't get the actual app to launch. So I'm probably going to end up putting the actual site, the trading site, up on the screen as I edit the video, just so you can see what it looks like. But it's very similar to GMX and Apex Pro. So you can long and short, you can put limit orders, you can put regular spot buy orders, you can actually trade from a ton of different tokens on the Solana network, such as Trump Coin, Bond Coin, and mind you, this is with leverage as well. So this is anywhere, I believe, from 0 to 100x leverage. And obviously it's a great place to trade Solana meme coins if that's what you desire, while also being able to have a lot of the functionality that you get on a centralized exchange, but obviously without having to give up the custody of your tokens. So lastly, to give you a little bit of peace of mind, we're going to check out the vesting schedule for Drift. Now, this is something that's very absent in most people's minds, I think, when it comes to investing in tokens. Because on one hand, yes, in a bull market, vesting schedules don't really matter that much because you see a ton of buy pressure coming for a ton of tokens. So as soon as those extra tokens hit the open market, they usually get bought up pretty quick. But something to think about, and this is why we don't hold tokens, altcoins specifically, through bear markets, is because of the unlocks. Now, the vesting schedule for Drift, I already took a quick look at it. It's only about 1% of the supply being unlocked every single month, and that's across the board for the early stage investors, airdrops, ecosystem, everything like that, right? So not a ton of unlock pressure that you're getting from month to month. And as you can see, all the way until you hit November of this year is when you start to see 2.3% of the supply unlocked per month. And this is pretty much linear. So it ticks up slightly as we approach the peak of this market cycle and the bear market. So as far as tokens being unlocked, you don't have to worry about that. Now, as far as venture capital goes, they have a lot of venture capital backing as well, which is also a misconception to a lot of people. It's actually a good thing because if you have VCs that have tokens that aren't unlocked yet, that will be unlocked later down the line, chances are they want the token to perform well because they want to make money. That means they're going to find other people and other backers to invest in the token as the months and years go along to prop up the price. So that's also a good thing for your bags if you get in now at the ground floor. Now, if you have any questions about Drift Protocol, I would like you to ask me in the comment section, or just post tokens that you actually want me to talk about in the next altcoin video, and just leave it a like if you found any value so far. We're gonna get right into the next token because I don't want to waste your time today. We have some heavy market update videos coming up, so subscribe to the channel for that. Let's get into CEDIS. Now, CEDIS, being the second token, is currently sitting at 10 cents. If we go to the all-time chart here and we prop up market cap, which is a better representation of where we'd be at, we can see that it hit an all-time high of around $285 million per market cap. We're currently at $70 million for market cap. So just to get back up to all-time highs again is around a 4x or so. The volume's pretty good as well. As far as FDV goes, there's still quite a bit of tokens left to come out, around 40% or so, but we're actually going to go on CryptoRank.io in a second as well to check to see where that's at. Now, to look to see where we could pick up CEDIS at, let's just go back to the price chart. We're currently sitting at 10 cents, and a lot of previous resistance, or actually support, we're actually sitting at a lot of support at the moment around 10 cents. If you're talking about getting down to the lows though, we're probably sitting at around 3 cents or so. So considering that we're at support, like I said, with Drift, all depending on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is able to hold the levels it's at right now, which is around $83,000, $82,000, I think that we can see it hold at 10 cents. But if Bitcoin was to break down into the 70K range, which is starting to get a little more unlikely as time goes on, I pretty much see Bitcoin trading in a range from here out until we see a decent spike to the upside where we start to test some areas of resistance. I think that it's unlikely to see Drift get back down to its all-time lows, but it is always a possibility. Now, if you want to check out some of the places you can pick up CEDIS at, mind you, CEDIS is a DEX. If I didn't mention that to you before, I apologize for that, but it is actually the largest DEX on SUI, which is why I'm telling you about it. I also had someone in the comment section, I think 2 videos ago, asked me to talk about CEDIS, and it was something I was actually been planning to talk about for the past couple months or so, but now I'm talking about it. And the reason why I like SUI is because, if you don't know, Meta had a token called Libra, a project called Libra, and the team from that dispersed into Aptos and SUI. SEC regions with Gary Gensler was the reason why that never really happened for Meta, why they weren't able to proceed with Libra. But the team that built that token and project split up into Aptos and SUI, which means it has a lot of VC backing and, more importantly, a lot of connections. It's actually one of the fastest networks as well, and one of the quickest growing networks as far as like TVL growth. And when you see a lot of assets being bridged over and value bridged over from other networks, SUI's been on a steady uptrend for the past year or so, which is why I really like SUI. So buying something like CEDIS is a no-brainer because it's the biggest DEX on SUI, and no matter if we have a bull market or a bear market, we usually see a lot of volume and a lot of attention still on the DEXs. That's the only place to trade when you're on a actual network. Yes, there's different DEXs and different places you can swap tokens, but there's always a use case and utility for DEXs. That doesn't matter if it's in a bear market, it doesn't matter if it's in a bull market, because regardless if you're buying or selling, these guys still make money. Now, if you wanted to pick up CEDIS, you could go to Binance. You can go to Come to CEDIS, OKX, BitGet, MEXC, Gate.io, KuCoin. There's a ton of big exchanges that you can pick this token up at. So once the bull market takes effect, you're going to see a lot of easy and seamless liquidity flow into CEDIS, because when a lot of people first get into crypto, they don't know how to use DEXs or use DeFi in general. That's lending platforms included, or when they're talking about launch pads and things like that. So they're going to look to go to these big exchanges like Binance, and this is across the globe. So more than likely, you're going to see big and massive price jumps from something like CEDIS. Now, to take a quick brief look at the site, it's a regular DEX. There's nothing new here, nothing groundbreaking, of course, but they do obviously have limit orders, and you can also put a DCA position in as well. Very simple. If you've used any DEXs, there's not too much to go over. So now looking at the vesting schedule, like I was saying, there's about 40% that's unlocked so far. I think I may have misspoke and said there's about 40% left, but there's about 40% unlocked to this date. And as you can see, there's linear investing as well. So you're only going to see about 1% uptick every single month. And this is actually all the way out until 2026 of May, which is more than likely when the bull market would have already ended by that point, and we're probably going to start seeing us dip into a bear market at this point. So as far as the actual vesting schedule, again, nothing to even look at when it comes to Cetus. You're getting about 1% unlocked every single month. That's absolutely nothing, especially in a bull market year. So this was a quicker video than most of the other altcoin videos I have on this channel. I'm actually in the process of getting my entire setup revamped because we've been having problems with the audio, and I'm tired of having crappy audio and a crappy setup. I'm actually going to be moving the $5,000 desktop that I have that's currently in the living room down into the basement, and I'm also going to be ordering a few other things like a backdrop, a brand new mic, so that we don't have these issues anymore. With that being said, please leave the comments about what other tokens you want me to talk about, you want me to cover, and any questions you may have about these tokens as well. That's very important. But with that being said, if you're looking to build your perfect altcoin portfolio, click this video up here. And if you're wondering what YouTubers you should be following through the bull market, click this video up here. It's a good one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.